Hi, welcome to Me Mediumship. Hope everybody is fine, okay, and not too hot in the UK. Been a very warm day here today, and I believe it's going to be warmer tomorrow. So it'll be sitting in front of the fan day, I think. It's going to be very warm. Probably not as warm as where some of you are in other countries, but it's certainly warm here. So anyway, enough said. Tonight I'm going to talk about, give answers really to some of the questions I get asked quite regularly. And one of those questions has been raised literally a couple of days ago, and that was, how long is it before a spirit or a soul can communicate with mediums after they've passed? And the answer to that one really is straight away. We've heard many a story over the years of people that have passed whilst they've been on their own, and the medium has picked up that energy and gave a message to a sitter, and unbeknown to that sitter, that the person has passed. They've said, well, that can't be right, because I've left them at home. They're having a cup of tea at home, and I think you've got that wrong. And there's been a couple of things in the past that have happened where messages have been given only for the sitter to go home and find their loved one passed away in a chair. So it can be very, very quick, very soon, that they can communicate. Obviously, it's down to that energy. It's down when that energy feels that there is a need to communicate, then they will. And there's a lot to be said for that. People say, well, how come one person gets a message and another person never does? And I think there is a degree of need there. And obviously that the energy, the soul, the spirit has a choice. May not want to draw close to this plane, may be quite comfortable where they are, don't really want to come back and pass any messages on. And so it's really down to them, and it's also down to the experience of that soul as well. I believe that young souls can sometimes take a bit longer to communicate. There is an art to it, just as there is for mediumship, for us to be able to communicate with them. There is an art. Not every energy has that capability to communicate early on. So it's a skill they learn themselves. From energies from higher planes will help them and guide them with that. And sometimes it is the energies from the higher planes that actually pass the message on for them. I've heard of that before. I have experienced it before, where there's been an older soul there and has brought that younger energy close and passed the message on to me directly, rather than it come from the actual energy itself, the soul itself, that is passing the message on. So sometimes there can be the middleman, if you like, helping and guiding the younger souls, the younger energies. So an older soul, once passed, can communicate immediately. There's absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. An older soul's got the knowledge, the experience. It knows where it is, if you like. It's only way I can really put it. It's well aware of its surroundings. As it's passed, it knows the process. So it's quite straightforward for that energy to be able to communicate with us early on. So there are a number of factors, but on the whole, it's fairly quick that an energy can come through and communicate. And like I said before, there are other energies that can help them with that if they are struggling. So, and obviously your guides, your helpers will help them to draw close to you and pass any information over for you. So so it's there's lots of stories flying around. It's 12 months and 3 days and 6 hours and 40 seconds, and there's all sorts of weird and wonderful things flying around out there. But an energy can communicate, like I said. There is a possibility more or less straight away. So that's the answer to that. And I have been asked as well, how do you know all these answers? And the truth behind that really is, I don't know. I really do not know. I can be asked a question and the answer is there. I just do not know where the knowledge comes from. I believe personally that the link that I have from my childhood really has helped. I can put a question out there for spirit, they will help me with the answer. And it seems sometimes when I do demonstrations, I don't always prepare a talk beforehand. I leave that to spirit to put that thought in my mind. I will go out there, and while sometimes if it's like a church demonstration, if there's prayers, if there's hymns, I will listen. I will be listening straight away, really, to get an idea of what my talk will be about. And never let me down. They're always there. And that, like I've said in my Patreon, in one of the videos on there, you know, the element of a good demonstration really is trust. Is to trust the energies that work with you, and allow them to work with you. So yeah, so that's one question I get asked. Another question is, are you hearing spirit all day long? The answer to that is no. Because we have that respect. We've learnt that respect from each other. Spirit will not interfere with my everyday work, if you like, my everyday life. They do not just come in and give me a load of messages to pass. It's happened where they will, if the need is there, and I respect that need. So if there is a need for a message to be given, I will give it. Again, it's something you learn. You know whether it's right to give that message at that particular time. And but that's very rare. And it's very rare that I give a message to somebody out of the blue. But you do get, over the years, you kind of learn that urgency. You get that feeling, that sense that, yeah, it's fine to give that message now. But no, I don't hear spirit all the time. When I ask spirit to draw close, they'll draw close. And I have my own personal way of knowing when they're there. And it's something that, like I said, it's a respect we have for each other. I respect when there is that need to give that message, and they respect that I need to get on with the life as well. And obviously, I'm here for the same reason as all you. You know, we are all learning many experiences through our lifetimes. We're on this journey, and spirit respect that. They know why I'm here. So, you know, I've got a lot to learn as well, like most of us, I guess. So no, I don't hear spirit all the time. Another one I get asked is, it's very touchy subject, and I respect that, is when somebody takes their own life because of all the hype that flies around that about, you know, going to hell. You know, you're not meant to take your own life, and you haven't got the right to do that, and blah blah blah. Well, you know, suicide, personally, when I've put that question to spirit, when they talk of the element of suicide, when their life is, you know, someone takes their own life, no, it is understood that this is an illness as much as cancer is an illness, as much as any disease. This is an illness. It is a mental illness in a sense, where somebody's got to that point where they're that low within themselves that they cannot go on anymore. And it is a very, very sad situation to be in. It is never, ever seen as something wrong in the world of spirit. And whoever started that rubbish, that rumour, you know, I've got absolutely no respect for that at all. You know, it is an illness. And if you think about it logically, somebody who was well, both physically and mentally, obviously wouldn't do that. And it's an illness, and it's a very sad illness, obviously. Causes a lot of pain for families. and very difficult to get over, I know. But when you get a suicide victim communicate through you, and I would say 99.9% of the time, you feel that pain within them, and that pain that exists within them is for their families they left behind. There's no selfishness whatsoever. The most important thing to them is to let their families know they're fine. They do it all the time. They apologise, but there's normally an explanation of how that they felt that low. They just had no other answer, really. Bless them. So yes, there's ignore that rubbish about going to hell and all that sort of thing. It is rubbish. I've sat with that question more than once with Spirit, and I'm confident, very confident, in the fact that that is very, very true. So yeah, that's another one. I'm trying to think of the other questions. I never write anything down before I do these. I should really. Very, very bad of me. Right. Another question I get asked an awful lot is, mediumship, is it something we can learn, or is it natural? Or, can we learn it? So, if I'm like a plank, I get absolutely no inkling of spiritual energy at all. Can I just go and read a book and hey ho, I'm away? I'm a medium. Now, this is my personal opinion, that I have sat with this question. The answer that I got was very, very deep, actually, a very deep answer, and it took quite a while for me. I think it was one of the questions I actually wrote as I listened. So I wrote the answers, things I was getting as I sat with that question. And from what I remember of that piece of writing, it was, once I'd read through it a number of times, it basically, in a nutshell, stated that we should not see mediumship as a gift. Okay, so it's not something that we are just given. It is a natural ability for everyone. It is a natural ability, but it depends on the stage, if you like, at what we are at within our own spiritual development as a soul, not just as a person, but as a soul. So the knowledge that we gain, that bit of that knowledge that we bring with us when we're born, many lose that or just suppress it. But there are those who hold on to it. And a lot of that is down to, again, the age of that soul. Now, I'm not talking years, I'm talking about the experiences of that soul. So if that soul's gone through many experiences, many lifetimes, gained an awful lot of knowledge, then that awareness of spirit tends to stick the older we are. So the older that soul is, if it's an old soul that's reborn again, to polish off a few more experiences, I guess, anyway I can think of putting that. But when they come through to this plane again, they tend to keep hold of a part of that spiritual knowledge that keeps that link open. For many, okay, that is suppressed, and mainly because the strength of this material atmosphere in which we live tends to suppress it quite easily for many. Some of us who have kind of a lack of materialism tend to be able to communicate better, because our minds are not focused totally on gain. Our minds are more focused on life itself, on the experience of life. So we tend to be a little bit more open, a little bit more aware, a little bit more awake, and that, I suppose, that communication line is a little bit stronger in us, and it stays open. So we have that awareness that we can turn away from all these things that are going on around us, and we can close off from that, like sitting in the power, and we can use that line of communication to build our own communication line, if you like, or make it stronger, I should say. So yeah, it's a very deep answer. I mean, I'm trying my best here to kind of explain it. So we mustn't see it as a gift. It's not a gift at all. It is just where we are along that journey, on that pathway, and it is one that there's a statement within that piece of writing that I did whilst I sat with Spirit, and I can remember one part of it was where they said it is, they didn't call it a gift, I'm trying to think what they actually call it, an ability, I think. It's an ability that is well and truly attained. So in other words, we've been through many lifetimes, we've been through many experiences, and we are knowledgeable with that, and that does make an awful lot of difference with that line of communication. So the older souls tend to have or keep hold of that line of communication, or keep it open, even whilst we are experiencing life here within this plane. So I guess, like I said, it's natural. There is a natural ability. It's not something we learn from a book at all. It's not something we necessarily learn in a course. So we can, like I've said before many times, experiencing time with people of similar understanding is very important. But yeah, it's a natural ability. You won't learn it from a book. You'll get ideas and things, but yes, it's something we've earned it. So yeah, we have earned it over many lifetimes, I guess, and many journeys and many experiences, and we're lucky in that respect. And I do give thanks for being able to have brought some of that knowledge with me. I give thanks for that, because I do, it gives me this warmth inside knowing that I've got the knowledge I've got, and I've managed to hold on to it through all the ups and downs of my life. I've managed to hold on to that knowledge, and sometimes I've been very ignorant with it, and I just push things away, push it to one side, which is not good. But life does get in the way of many things, as you know, and I do love working with energy. I do love working with Spirit. Yeah, so there's a few answers to a few things. Probably not that clear. I'm probably babbling on a bit, but if there's any questions relating to what I've said, then please just put it in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Please like and please subscribe. It means an awful lot to me. I've now got a Patreon set up. I've only put an introduction video on there and one video that will help you with that first step, that first demonstration of your mediumship. There's going to be a lot more put on there, so it'd be great if you feel like you'd like to join the Patreon. It'll mean an awful lot to me. So it's You, Me, and Mediumship on Patreon, by the way, exactly the same as what I do on YouTube. So there will be exclusive videos on there which will go for a lot longer, into more depth, and there'll be an opportunity also for us to have one-to-one training, where I can sit and I can help you once a month on either Teams or Zoom or something like that, and we can sit and be nice as well to form a group, maybe like an online circle, if you like. That'd be excellent. Sit together, that would be really good. So take care. Like I said, please like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.